All right. Okay. You gonna go to bed soon? I'm gonna turn around because I can't do this while you're in bed. Okay. And he's way too big. But anyways, all right, guys. So we are May 15th, and Timmy is actually going to be talking on our call tonight, and she's going to be talking about kind of like why power. But I will just say, like, I've had so many people ask me lately, like, I don't know how you do it, or like coaches will start and they'll stop and they're just like, this isn't for me, you know, like I have to spend too much time doing this. And I promise you guys, like, I get it. Like, I remember as a brand new coach, you know, just thinking, oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? Or like, what am I doing? You know, and at the time I didn't even know if there was going to be any like potential for me to do anything with this business. Like, I didn't know, you know, I just kind of wanted to pay for my Shakeology. And then I had gotten into posting 3 to 5 times a day and getting on these team calls and these training calls. And like, I didn't know if it was worth it. But I just want to tell you, like, if you are on this call or if you are watching this call back, it has been worth it, and like tenfold. And so all that to say, like, I'm home now, like I'm home full time for the summer. And, you know, my kids were both in school today, and I still kind of found myself like running out of time. And of course, I do more than just like recruit for challenge groups and stuff like that. Like, I run training groups and I'm recruiting coaches and all this stuff. And so like I do way more than I did as a brand new coach. But I just want to encourage you, like, you know, don't give up on this business too soon. Do not give up on this business too soon, because I wanted to quit like every month for a whole year. And there's still some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing? You know, but it is so worth it. Like, it is so worth it. And like the purpose and the fulfillment and the income and the fun stuff, you know, like, it's just so worth it. And I know it takes work, but anything good, worth doing, worth having takes work. And it's just an awesome, I've never heard of a business opportunity like it before. And so that's my spiel. That's my spiel. I'm kind of exhausted. Milo's been screaming, but I want to be on this call because I believe in what we do as a team and as coaches and Beachbody. Like, I believe in it 100%. And so that's my little, like, get that off my chest kind of thing. But anyways, let's see. So tonight, our team call, Timmy asked her to talk because we're kind of like tag teaming this whole training group, or our whole team stuff. And she is such a great motivator, and I'm sure you guys get tired of hearing me talk. So I asked her to talk, and she really wanted to speak on this topic. It's just really on her heart, like how to really make sure you have a solid why. Like, why are you doing this business? And some days you may be like, I don't know why. I'm just doing it because Rachel told me to, or, you know, I don't know. But you have to have a really solid why. And that's what Timmy is going to talk about, because there are hard days. I mean, just like anything. Just like anything that is good, whether it's your job, whether it's parenting, whether it's, you know, service, you know, there are good days and there are bad days, and knowing why you're here, why you're doing it is so important. And I make it sound like this is just a horrible job. It's not a horrible job. Like, obviously I love it. I love what I do. I love my team. I love my challengers, and there are way, way, way more good days and benefits than there are bad. But there are those hard days, and she's going to talk about how to get through that. But before we, hopefully she'll hop on soon. She said she was running a little bit late. But before we get into that, I wanted to go through just some of our regular stuff. So we've kind of got that, where we do have that coaching post challenge in our team page. And I'm actually going to stop this and show you guys that banner, because if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you should definitely know, because this is like, if I'd had this as a brand new coach, like, I feel like I would have started recruiting coaches way sooner. So this is the banner in our team page. Let me share my screen. Hold on. This is the banner in our team page, all right? And it literally has 31 days, 31 ways that you can talk about coaching. And I don't care if you've been a coach for 2 days or if you've been a coach for 2 years. Like, this is so easy to implement. And the more that you actually talk about what you do as a coach, talk about the benefits, the struggles, whatever, the rewards, it's just really pays off. Like, the more I talk about coaching, the more I recruit coaches. You know, the more I share what I struggle with and what I benefit from, the more that people understand what I do as a coach. And so I have that little challenge going in our team page for you guys to participate in. And this week, let's see, Lindsay Woods was the challenge winner for that. She posted and shared her coaching posts in our team page at least 3 to 4 times this past week. And so I have a cute little workout tank for her. The other thing is that I am hosting a Memorial Day refresh group, and that is it actually is going to start next Monday, like a week from today, because I actually have like 4 or 5 girls who just wanted to do a 3-day refresh. I'm thinking maybe they're going on vacation for Memorial Day or something, and they just wanted to do it before, but they wanted to start on the 22nd. So I'm going to start it on the 22nd, and it's going to be like 2 waves of 3-day refreshes. So there's going to be one group starting that Monday and then one group starting the next Tuesday. And what I'm going to do is basically I am just going to share a 5-day meal plan and a whole lot of recipes and some tips and some encouragement for the holiday weekend. All right. And so they're going to be, like I said, there's going to be a group of challengers who start on the 22nd, and then a group of challengers that start on the 29th. And I'm basically going to walk them through the 3-day refresh. I'm going to do it with them starting on the 30th. And anyways, and then whenever they're done, I'm going to give them a 5-day meal plan to keep going. And so they have to be a challenger, a customer of mine or yours if you're inviting people to do it. And they have to have a 3-day refresh, all right? And so a 3-day refresh, the reason I'm doing this, one, is because a lot of people were asking me about doing the 3-day refresh, and I haven't really done a 3-day refresh group in a while, and it's just a good time. It's summertime, you know, people are going to overdo it on Memorial Day weekend, and it's just a way for me to get some people started, either re-engage old challengers who have kind of dropped off or coaches, and to help people get results with their programs, right? It also builds volume and income for me. So like if somebody buys a 3-day refresh, you know, I get that volume, I get that income from that. And most of our challenge packs, guys, especially for you newer coaches, most of our challenge packs come with a kickstart option. And what that means is they get the workout program or the all access membership, the Shakeology, and a 3-day refresh with it. That's what a kickstart challenge pack is. And they're typically like $205. So, you know, if you're recruiting, if you are, you know, trying to find something to invite to, if your challenge group doesn't start until like a couple weeks, you can do that kickstart challenge, and they can do the 3-day refresh with us, and then start your challenge group maybe the next week or whenever you have one starting. So I created an event page for it. I would really you probably don't need to invite people to my event page, because I don't have any way to discern whether or not they came to my event page because of me or because somebody else. But if you want to talk about it, if you want to invite your current challengers, email your current challengers about it, and then you can add them to my closed group, and we will run that group together. So that's just a really good way to build volume and stuff. So that starts on the 22nd, and then again, it'll have another wave on the 30th. So that's what I'm going to do for that. Are you eating donuts? So we talked about this last week on our call. Donuts are just those 5 messages first thing in the morning where you get up and you connect with people, invite people who maybe weren't expecting it, people that maybe you just haven't really taken a lot of time to build, do all that connecting relationships with, and just invite them, you know, reach out to them about a challenge group or the coaching opportunity or the 3-day refresh. It doesn't matter. I think this is something that's really cool. Even though I do encourage us as a team, I do teach you guys to build those connections. I think that it's important for us to get outside of our comfort zone and, you know, connect with people and really share what we are doing in our challenge groups and as coaches and as a team, and to do those things that really scare us. Eat that frog. That's what that means. If you read that that time management book, it's important to do those things first, and then everything else after that seems just really easy. Also, in my phase 2, like 4 Vitals group, we have a donut challenge where I gave them a sheet of donuts, 50 donuts, and when they fill it out, they get like a small prize. And so every time that they do that, they get something. So I just really want to encourage us as a team to be really spreading the news, spreading the love, and getting people started in our challenge groups and as coaches as well. And that's what that whole donut thing is about. But as of today, this was Success Club as of today when I checked, and so these are our numbers for a team. I'm at Success Club 20. That was my goal before I got to the 20th. And I hit it actually this morning. Mandy has 6 points. She is at Success Club, brand new coach. That is awesome. Timmy is at Success Club 6. And then a lot of people are really close. And so I challenged everybody yesterday to aim to at least get 2 points on the board. If everybody got 2 points on the board, that would put 3 more people at Success Club and then a whole bunch of other people really close to it. And so, guys, if we're posting, if we're inviting, if we're following up, if we are doing those 4 vital behaviors, we should be hitting Success Club. All right. I'm not saying it's always going to be easy. You're going to have to go through a lot of conversations. You're going to have a lot of people that commit and then back out. You're going to have people that say no, and then maybe 6 months from now decide to do it. But it's so important to be investing in people and sharing what you're doing and posting and inviting and following up with people and, doing your personal development. I had a coach contact me today and just said, I haven't worked my business in a few days. I'm not really sure if this is working. And when I asked her if she'd been doing her personal development, well, no, but that is so important. If you have the compound effect, if you have the slight edge, if you have GoPro, if you have whatever it is, you've got to be investing in yourself. That is not just something that makes you get to Success Club. Personal development is an investment in yourself, in your business, and in your mindset more than anything. Because I will tell you, I did not have a coaching mindset coming into this. I did not have a business mindset. I was do something fast, get quick results, and then I'll stick with it. And if I didn't, then I was one of those people that just quit. And personal development really changed that for me. And so you've got to be doing that and not giving up on this business too soon. I can't say that enough. You can't give up on this business after 2 or 3 months, after 4 or 5 months. You've got to commit to a year. All right. You just have to. If you're going to see long-term results, if you're going to see traction, if you're going to see longevity and income and just lives change, you have to commit to this business and doing the 4 vital behaviors every single day. And, there are days where I don't do my vitals. I'm not going to lie, but I'm consistent in doing them, and that pays off all the way. All right. So I'm proud of our team and how many people really are close to Success Club or even just have points on the board. That's awesome. I'm really proud of us. So keep going. So who is recruiting? This was exciting for me to go into my coach online office, and I have this little thing that says new coaches in your organization. And these 3 chicks have this past week been recruiting coaches. Look at them. Jade recruited 2 new coaches this week. Rachel recruited 1 new coach, and Andrea recruited a coach this week. And actually I actually added Andrea up to our Team Take Heart leaders because she has 4 active coaches under her, and she is well on her way to Diamond. So this is great. This is what we should be doing. We should be running challenge groups. We should be hitting Success Club. And then after that, we should be adding coaches to our organizations in order to see growth, in order to see income, in order to grow our businesses. And these 3 ladies were doing that, and I'm really proud of them, and I wanted to shout them out for that. Now, let's see. Timmy is not on. So she got caught by something, and she told me what it was, and I couldn't understand what her voice message said. But do you guys have anything you want to talk about, or does anybody want to share from the National Wake Up Call today? Because I have not listened to that yet. UBT is on Beachbody on Demand already. And so like I did just a short, quirky little live video about it tonight on my page. But I posted it in my challenge groups today and posted the YouTube video and said it was on there. And if anybody was looking for a low impact workout or just something fun to do, you know, like to go in there and access it. And that's really important. You know, like they said on the call this morning, like Beachbody's coming out with all kinds of new stuff. And that's important for our businesses. Like new flavors of Shakeology, new workouts, you know, they're doing that real quick, like 7-day Shanti thing, you know, that kind of stuff is good for our businesses, but we have to be sharing about it. And I don't love to share like Beachbody posts, really. I don't love to like be salesy or post videos or links of Beachbody stuff, but it's important for our challengers and the people who have already invested in all access to know that that stuff is there, because I personally have a lot of people that just can't do high impact stuff, or they don't like weights, they like to dance, and you know, like they will love that. Like Matt laughed out loud. I wish I had a live video of Matt laughing out loud at that video, but people will love it, and it is fun. Like it's fun. And so like make sure that your challengers know about it. Make sure that you know, people who you've talked to who said I don't like workouts or whatever, make sure that you let them know that that's on there. And you know, if people have already bought all access, they don't have to pay for it. It's just there. It just shows up magically. All right. And so that's important. So does anybody want to share about that or anything you heard about that? Tracy, you were talking about the meal part of it. Will you share that?
Yeah, they said that the meal plan, they're going to introduce, I need to turn down the TV. Hey, Steve, will you mute the TV? Will you mute the TV, please? Anyway, they said that the first week, they're just going to ask the people to start drinking Shakeology. And then the second week, they're going to give them a healthy breakfast. The third week, they're going to give them a healthy lunch option. And then the fourth week, they're going to add dinner. So it's just a gradual change of their diet, you know, and adding in the exercise and everything. So, I mean, I think it's going to be great for beginners and people that are wanting to get back into it. And like you said, the workouts are fun. They're really fun. So,
I mean, it looks like a good sweat. I can't talk tonight, y'all. I'm so tired. Sweat session too.
Yeah. I mean, I did when I did the sneak peek video. I mean, I had a good sweat going. So. And it wasn't complicated to me. I can't dance either. I can't remember who was on earlier. Said they couldn't dance.
Me.
What is that? The shimmy. He kept talking about the shimmy, and you know his accent is like crazy off. And Milo was like, "What is he saying? They're doing that shimma again." You know, like serious. So anyway,
It's sexy.
Oh my gosh, sexy. He did the sexy like 15 times in 10 minutes.
There you go. There you go. Hey, let me ask about the Shanti thing. So it's going to be what, 7 days?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you suggest running a free group during that? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but they would have to have all access. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they'd have to have. Well, would they have to have all access, or would they have to have the free trial?
I'll look that up while Timmy's talking, though. I'll look and see.
And the reason I think, you know, they also said on the call, and this, if you didn't hear, you didn't know, that it's going to be, everything's going to be all access. There's not going to be a member library and a programs library anymore.
That's good.
Like, I assume that if you get the free trial, you're going to have the free trial of everything.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of crazy to think you could get the free trial of 21 Day Fix.
Somebody said, though, that, who was that? It was Christy, I think, said that there will be no more sharing of DVDs. You know? I mean, but all you have to do is give somebody your login. I don't know.
Yeah.
True. I don't know.
Well, I've looked up before, like, can you buy the program materials, you know, because I like those little books.
Mm-hmm. I
mean, even though you can access all that stuff online, one, you don't want to use up all your printer ink.
Right.
To print one, and I just like the convenience of them. And my little 21 Day Fix book is worn out, just, you know, worn out.
Mine too.
But the reason they don't sell those separate is because of piracy. I wonder if they'll start, because people would copy the DVDs and then they could, if they bought the program materials, then they could almost sell them like the real thing.
I don't know. But, like it amazes me because we have that 21-day fix app, which pretty much tells you everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's free.
You don't need the guide. I mean, it doesn't have the recipes in it, but it does everything else for you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's kind of like we all know, if you don't invest in it, you
won't do it.
You don't. If you spend the money on it, though, you're more likely to do it.
And that's I tell people that, like, they're like, why do I have to have Shakeology? I'm like, my challengers just do better. Sometimes, I mean, I know it works. I know it makes a difference, but sometimes it's just that investment. And, I committed to this. I put some money into it and I'm going to do it, So.
And I think I've shared this before. If people buy Shakeology, I have very, very few people that end up not liking it.
Oh, no.
Very, very few. But if they get 3 to 5, 7 samples, they won't like it.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason. There's my cat.
I agree.
But and they just got to take the time to mix it the way that they're going to like it. I had one girl tell me it tastes like a brick. But she had bought it, and so she was committed into blending it until she liked it, and now she's liking it.
That's funny.
But, if she'd got it one sample, she'd have never tried it again.
I didn't like it the first time I tried it, but I didn't mix it well. So, all right. Well, Timmy, are you ready? I am going to let you.
Okay, you're already muted, so I'm going to go ahead and start. So sorry, I was running behind. I don't know if Rachel was having to fill time or not, or if she was just loading me up with a bunch of good info. But kind of what brought this about was Rachel and I just sometimes will talk about our takeaways on different books and things like that. And, I've been a coach for a while, and so I got to the point where, you're kind of hanging out. You're kind of sitting there, you're doing your thing, you're hitting Success Club, you're bringing coaches on, you're helping people get started, and it starts to take time. You know what I mean? You're investing time, and so you get to this point where am I at? And I think everyone has probably questioned whether or not, am I going to continue doing this or not continue doing this? And so I read this book, and basically my husband and I have had the conversation. I love what I do, but sometimes I do get overexcited about it, and it takes a little bit of time away from my family because I'll tend to do the busy work. So I'm going to share this screen. And so really what this is going to be about is like kind of getting your why more organized and really narrowing it down and really getting to the meat of it, because just saying you want to help people doesn't necessarily always make you do the things that you need to do. So we all know there's things that we need to do, our vital behaviors that we need to do to help us succeed. So I'm going to share my screen a little bit. I did have a few seconds to kind of work on a couple slides. So I'm going to share. Can y'all see it? Okay. Let's see if it'll bring it in. All right, so it says make your why bulletproof, and you'll see why in a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of share some of the quotes that kind of struck out to me on this one book that I was reading, and it just really made me kind of double think everything and realize that, I'm investing this time into this. I need to make it worth my while. So it talked about this cycle that we have, and I'm sure some of us have all done it before. You're not kind of working your business because you don't really have it tied to a strong why. Then you kind of beat yourself up because you're not working the business like you should. Now it's at the end of the month and you're working your business kind of out of guilt, and you're beating yourself up for not working hard in the beginning of the month. And it's not enjoyable. It's not fun. And people can feel that you're kind of just trying to get that, and I that was what they used it and tied it to about how your why for your business. And I tied it to at the bottom. Basically, it's not hitting your Success Club and then scrambling at the end of the month to kind of get it in. And you get into that, well, I have so many days to do it. I have this, or I have, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll double up tomorrow, and then you actually don't. And so it's talking about going and finding out what is your real why that's going to make you do it even on these hard days. Because basically when you are struggling that last week and you can push and you can absolutely do it, it's stressful. I don't know if it's stressful on y'all, but it would stress me out. And then you start questioning everything that you're doing. Like, you know, I should have done this better. I should have done this better. Or, you know, I thought I was working my business. Maybe this isn't for me. But then if you really go back and look, were you really doing the things that you needed to do to move your business forward? And so this is going to be, I'm talking to myself here. So this is like what I was asking myself, you know, what am I doing here? And, you know, this conversation is not like me, I have it all, but this conversation is me saying, you know what, I wanted to share this takeaway with Rachel. And so she asked me, like, could I share how I was feeling and kind of share a little bit about what I learned in this book. And it says it has to be more than just, oh, I want to help people and add a little extra income. You got to dig and peel the layers a little bit more. So I started thinking, why am I, I'm taking time away from my family. My boys aren't home right now. It's because I left them at football practice and someone else is bringing them home. But, normally, I skipped out on the last little bit of their football thing. They were watching film and announcing All-Stars. So this is taking a little bit of time away from them. But why am I doing this? What was stopping me personally? And me personally, my husband does very well for us. It's not something like it's a necessity, but I just keep feeling this tug on my heart that I haven't been able to let go, that I love doing it. And even on my ups and downs, I still have that tug on my heart that this is where I'm supposed to do. But am I putting, everything in the right order? Am I putting my priorities first, or am I hiding behind things? So that's personally what stops me sometimes, is knowing like, oh, you know what, I'll do it tomorrow. Dylan wants to do this or something because he takes care of us very well. So when I put what is stopping me professionally, and that is, I'm a person that wants things to be perfect. I want the perfect picture, the perfect image. I want my blog to be perfect. I want this to be perfect. I want my organization to be perfect, my calendar to be perfect. That's all busy work. And that is what's stopping me professionally whenever you're not, pushing all the way for it. So, I have enough hobbies, is what I wrote here. I don't want another hobby. I have decided that this is, a desire and a calling on my heart to be a business and to be a ministry to bless others, and I need to work it like that. So going on, this is a quote that really struck me. Why should you know your why? And it says, there's so many things in life vying for your time and attention, and if you don't really want to do this, you won't. And so that's one of the things that got to me. Like, there's so many, she's right. There's so many different things. You're pulled in different directions that if you really don't have that tug on your heart and dig deep to figure out what your why is, then you're not going to stick with it. You're going to choose to sleep in and not get up early like I do, or you're going to choose to, go have lunch with your friends maybe, or you're going to choose to, not stay up late or not get on the calls and things like that. Now, obviously, if you're here on the call, I'm preaching to the choir. But this is just some things, that, or stay up a little bit later to do the things that you needed to do. So it made me think there are so many things in our lives. Why, we do the things just like we tell our challengers. We do the things that are important to them, you plan to help you succeed. And we tell them that if you really want to do it, you'll make time for it. So why is your why so important? It says your why has to be big enough to keep you consistently showing up for your business week after week and month after month. So you have to have and figure out, and I'm going to talk about a little bit, digging more into your why, but what I mean about being more generic and more specific, but consistently showing up, because we all know, it all is about consistently people seeing you, because we all know people are watching you every day, every week. And unfortunately, some people will be more negative and they're waiting for you to fail. The other people are cheering you on, but either way, they're still checking you out. So here was where the bulletproof came from. You need a bulletproof why to get you through the tough times, and that why has to be about you and for you. And so what brought this to me, this struck with me, it was like, this is why on the days that I'm tired, like today was a complete hot mess. Even when I got home, my computer wouldn't even load. When I told Rachel, okay, I'm logging in, it like shut down on me. It wouldn't even load. So there's going to be times like that. And so you got to decide whether or not are you having this why that's strong enough to, on those bad days where you just want to close it down and you don't want to mess with it, that you know that, you know, your why is big enough. And I'll talk more about not just the why, you know, because I want to help people. So it's about the commitment. If you can't see it, smell it, or taste it, oh, there's a typo in there, but that's okay. If it doesn't move you deep enough in your soul, then I promise you, it's not enough to keep you committed. I've always heard people say your why has to make you cry, and I just was like, I don't have a why that makes me cry. I don't have something like that. But you do have to find something that's going to get your butt up and get in there to do what you need to do to help you succeed. So that was like, the way she put it like that, I was like, now that I can relate to. I can't relate to something making me cry because I'm not totally emotional, but I can understand, like, hey, what is it that's going to kick my butt in gear, just like I do and get my workouts in, but getting to do the vitals that I know that I need to do. And so it talked about like instant gratification. Oh, I typoed again. Sorry, guys. I did this really quick. About instant gratification and long-term gratification. So we all know, we talk about it with like our eating. Do you take the bite of the cheesecake, or do are you going to be good? And so it says whether or not we admit it, we are instantly rewarded for not doing the vitals that we talk about. So I try to intertwine this stuff for some of the things that we talk about with Beachbody. So we're automatically rewarded for not doing those vitals. That's going to push us closer to your goals. Now, you may not think, oh, this is a big reward for me, but you're rewarded with maybe extra sleep, or you're rewarded with, just different things that you're doing at the time. You're going to watch that TV show instead of checking in and listening to, a show, checking in with your voicemail or checking in with your messages and stuff. So there's different rewards. You're rewarding yourself maybe just to sit down in quiet time and do something different. There's different things that there's, no matter what, if you're not doing it, you're rewarding yourself somehow. TV show, sleep, everyone's is going to be a little bit different depending on them. So it talked about kind of like rewiring your brain and set yourself up for success. So just like we tell our, challengers to set your kitchen up for success, to clean out the things, how are you going to make those good choices easier for you to do? What's going to motivate you? So some of the things we've all talked about is like, eat that frog. So just go ahead and do it first, or create a vision board, or have a screensaver. Reward yourself for hitting your success club early. Because I was talking to myself, it messes with me if I go too long with not having points. It messes with my mind. It messes with my thinking. Like, I don't know if this is for me. I'm not sure. I'm kind of struggling. And I'm just going to be honest. Like, all coaches have had those ups and downs. And so if I sit at that 0 too long at the beginning of the month, it just messes with my mind. But if I'm already on it and I have those coming in, you boost your confidence. You're doing what you want to do. You're just got that flow. It's got the same thing as that well pumping. So I talked about like rewiring our brain. And so it was talking about like, have you ever felt like it was like lifting 500 pounds even to open up your messenger? Like it was going to take everything out of you to open up messenger to answer a message, or even to look in your Facebook or come up with a post, because it was just so daunting. So it says you need to rewire your brain so you're not taking extreme action is actually painful for you. And I don't mean like hurting you physically, but like, it's going to break it down in just a second. About taking action, you want the taking action part to actually light you up inside, to light that fire inside of you, to make you excited to run to that messenger when you have a free moment. And you think back to that time when you were very first started, and how like someone messaged you and you like ran to it and you opened it and you couldn't wait to answer that message, and you almost word vomited over all of them. Not that I want you to get back to that, but to get that fire and get that excitement back inside you. And every time you don't do your vitals, you need to ask yourself, what are you missing out on? What is that pain? So it says like, when you're not doing it, what are you and your family missing out on long term? So most of us are doing this for some reason, for our family, for us, to give us a better life, to help others, kind of all that thing all together. So we need to talk about those all together. So there's different types of whys. The generic would be like, oh, I just want to help make some income and put a little extra cash in our pocket. And here's what they're talking about: being specific. Peel the layers of the oven and get down to the nitty gritty. what would the money actually do for you? So not just bring in some extra money, but like, so I started thinking about it, you know, my husband does have a fabulous job. He does work really hard, but he has a lot of pressure on him too. He has a lot of pressure financially. You know, he carries everything, all the insurance and everything. And so, you know, part of when I started thinking about it is I would love to be able to release some of that pressure for him. I would love, he comes home very stressed out. It's a very stressful job. The oil, you know, industry just can, you know, something drastic could happen and all these different crazy things can happen. And he has a very stressful position. And I would love to be able to help him take off some of that financial pressure. Reason being, and how it affects me, is it's a less stressful household. So I kind of like, when I started really just like, and I'll have the little questions going down about how to help you break it down at the very end. But that was something to me, that affects me, to have a less stressful household, to have something where we have the time together and it's not stressful. Because, you know, when one of you are in a bad mood, I always say like you know, unhappy mama is a, you know, unhappy family. Well, it's the same way with the dad too. If they're stressed out and they have a lot of things on their mind, it takes toll of the whole family. So that was like how you break it down to more generic, to more specific. Not just having extra income would be nice, but I want to take some of that financial pressure off of my husband. So it says how to reveal your why, and you're peeling the layers off. And so sometimes you really have to be selfish. What do you want for you? And I don't mean just selfishly, like I want a purse, but for me, I want a more peaceful household whenever he's very stressed out. So it can obviously be with your family. It doesn't have to be like super stressful, like I just want this type of car. I just mean like, what is it going to do for you overall, and to help? So you got to really dig deep. So it says be a gold digger and dig a little deeper. What is it that's going to make you stretch and get out of your comfort zone? So because we've talked about, you know, it's scary going live. It's scary sending a message to someone you haven't talked to before in a long time. It's scary sending a friend request to somebody that maybe you kind of know, but you're not sure about, you know, if they're going to accept it or not, or what they're going to say. So we are definitely in a business where we are stepping outside of our comfort zone. So we have to find the why that's going to allow us to dig deeper. You know, if you were in, you know, debt and this was your only option, you'd be working very hard. And I've told my husband that before. Like if something happened and, you know, he lost his job and I knew I had this little thing in my pocket, I probably would be working a whole heck of a lot more and inviting a whole heck of a lot more people, knowing that this was like my only option. So I said, I have to get that desire to in me, no matter what, even whether or not he's doing well or not. Because if this was your only option, you would definitely be diving into this. So, and it said also be a dreamer. Give yourself permission to dream big. Sometimes we, you know, see some of the different people and we're like, oh, that could never happen. But then when you are, you know, knowing that if you're going to go for it, no matter what, give yourself permission to dream. Go and push for that extra little goal. And so I put down there just to remind me to talk about like the finances and stress and how the peace would, you know, really be helpful if there wasn't so much stress in the household on the days that were really hard for him. So I had already talked about that. So just like your goals, we've all seen this before, your SMART goals, you know, being specific to know the outcome, measurable, so you know how to measure and keep track of them. Make sure they're achievable and relevant to help you in the long run, and time bound. And those are just the same things you have in your goals, but you can use that same system to help you figure out your why. So we all know about those, but I just wanted to add to it. So real quick, this was your homework. Oh man, my slide got messed up. Hold on, let me exit out so I can. Sorry, I was trying to edit these while I was doing the party on my phone, and I can't read what it says now. Sorry, guys.
That happens a lot with Canva. It's awesome, but
Yeah.
it doesn't always work perfectly.
Let me just see if I can get it out of there. Okay. Well, let me just move it over. That'll work. Okay, so what is your why? And so I talked about peeling those layers away. And so you have to figure out what is important to you. So get specific here. What do you see? How do you see this changing your life? Were some of the questions. These are the questions that I answered where I came up with the whole like peace, the stress, and things like that, and the household, and where I came up with it. So it said, how do you see this changing your life? Well, if I really want to dream big, and we've heard of other people being able to retire their husbands and be able to have that happen, then how is this going to affect my family? It would totally take the stress up. I think the stress of just knowing that he had that opportunity would be something that would be a stress reliever, knowing that all that weight and all that is not on his shoulders all the time. And so how will this help you get to where you want to be long term? And so you have to keep having those goals. And so me working hard, me, inviting, me working, me reaching Success Club in the beginning of the month and not waiting till like the end of the month will all be things that's going to help us long term. And so it said, if you don't achieve it, here's what I was thinking, or that I thought that hit me the most. If you don't achieve it, what is the pain you'll experience? And again, I said not like the physical pain, but what is the cost you'll pay in your life by not taking action and by building the business? So we all know this works. We all know that if you help people and you are able to share with them about what they're doing, we feel it in our heart. We feel that tug in our heart and that passion. And so what's going to happen if you don't do it? It says, what will you and your family miss out on in life? Well, to me, it could, if I don't keep pursuing this, we could miss out on that peace that I so want on those stressful days. And so that really affects me. I really want, Dylan, we've talked about before, he would love to be a part of the business. He would love to be able to work more with charity. We've done a lot with sports before. We do a lot with football now. And we would love to be able to do something where we were actually giving back to the community. And that's actually one of my whys, is to work more with charities and be able to give more. So that is just something that I've always had on my heart. Even when I was a young kid, I wanted to do a scholarship program and buy a car for a certain agency that had helped me when I was younger. And so I thought about that. That needs to be back in my why, and I had forgot about that a really long time ago, for kids that weren't able to do that, to go to college and didn't have way to have access to college. So really digging down deep, and I never really even thought about that then until I was going through these questions. And then looking ahead 5 years, if you don't achieve your why, where will you be? And what happened if you given up, all because you didn't follow through and take action on what was important. And so, bottom line, it's kind of repeating itself, but the way, I was going to put one in there, but the way they said it, answering those different questions by, how are you going to, peeling those layers off, and really what do you gain from not doing it, and what would actually hurt you in the long run if you don't do it? We've all feel that tug in our heart. And so, we might as well, instead of just wasting a little bit of time and taking away from our family and not doing the things that are move our business forward, get in there, do the things that's going to move our business forward, help our challengers succeed, help our coaches succeed, and then get out and then help our family and be with our family, because that is our overall goal. So my three main, I just thought I'd share at the end, was, yes, I love staying home. So I love being able to be available for my kids and stuff, and be able to take them to practice and be able to do that stuff. But this actually gives me a purpose. I really honestly, feel like it's a calling of helping other people that struggled with so many different eating issues. And so this gives me a purpose in life. I'm just, I love being a mom and I love being a wife, but this just kind of like fills my heart and gives me that purpose. And so if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, then I'm not fulfilling my purpose. And if I'm just playing around with slides, and obviously I didn't take a lot of time to do these because I've typoed everywhere. And so, but if I thought, if I'm going to write these down in my notes or in my hand, or if I'm going to type them, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do it. And I'm not going to stress out about making them pretty, making them design. I'm going to preach to myself about it, that, you need to just not hide from it. It's what you're called to do. My second one was, of course, taking the financial stress off my husband and giving him, just a little breather room about some stuff. I think it's a lot for them to handle. And then my other thing was to donate money to some charities that I had on my heart, that I really didn't even realize it was on my heart because I'd forgotten about it so long ago, until I dug deeper into those questions. So, that's all I really have. And sorry if I talked kind of fast about it, and sorry my slides were messed up. But that's what, it just really spoke to me about it. I mean, I, do well. I hit Success Club. I'm about to be like, what is it, a legend when you hit or all-star legend when you hit 24 months and stuff like that. But you know what, man, I'm ready. I'm ready for it to just kind of push off and keep going. And I figured if it spoke to my heart, it might just speak to someone else's heart.
That's awesome. I think that's great. Like, like you said, we all kind of say, well, why do you want to be a coach? Oh, because I want to help people. Well, I can help people. I can help my neighbor. I can help my kids. I can help anybody. This is a very different way to help people. And we do need the money. Like, I'm not ashamed to say that. Like, our family needs the money. And there are other ways I can make money. That I could be away from my kids every night instead of sitting in my house or in my bed doing this job. I could work longer hours. I could find a job where I worked all year long if I had to. I could make more money in other ways. But this allows me to do something I'm passionate about. This allows me to minister to other women. This allows me to do things that I couldn't do at any other job. And so, like, it's worth it to me. It's worth it to me to stay up. I'm going to probably be up till 10:30 tonight on calls. I'm going to get up at 4:10 in the morning to do my devotions and do my workout and get it done before my kids get up so I can take them to school and get my work done before they get home. Like, it's worth it to me, and I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And you may not have that passion yet because maybe you just have your first challenger or you don't even have your first coach. But like, once you start investing in other people that way and you start to see other people's lives change, it's addictive. Like, I think it's an addictive high to get into. And you have to be careful too that you don't just do it and just function when you have that high. You have to do it all the time, which is what Timmy's talking about, but I just don't think there's anything else out there like it. But that's just my opinion. Does anybody else want to add to that?
Timmy, I might have missed this, but what was the name of the book?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to say, I'll give you the name of the book, but there were some good points from it that fired me up. And there's other stuff that I was like, yeah, this doesn't work for me, but it's Get Over Yourself. And I'm bleeping out
okay.
that word.
That's that one.
Yeah. Huh?
That's the one. I thought I bought that on Audible, but there's a book that's called that without the damn in there.
Yeah.
and I didn't like it, but I hadn't read that one.
Yeah, there are some things I really, really liked about it, like to kind of get yourself kind of fired up and just like kind of go for it and stuff like that. And there's other things it's very salesy and like script and it's not really how we go. Like, they automatically lead with the business. And that's not how really kind of kind of create relationships, go from there, help them. I mean, not to say that you couldn't leave with a business for some people, but they say you leave with a business for everybody. So, and I just don't know that I agree with that necessarily at all. So, I mean, I leave it out there for you to take it with a grain of salt. They do talk about, the universe and things like that. And I literally, like, whenever people do that, I scratch it out and I put God because I don't even like to leave it out there. And so I just scratch it out there and like it talks about, like a vision board and things like that. And it talks about believing and, dreaming big and stuff. And so it does, when it says something about universe, I scratch it out, put God, because that's what I believe and that's my faith and stuff. So I take it with a grain of salt. There were some good things in there. So I kind of went back and forth if I was going to share what the book was, but it did. It kind of excited me on some things. I don't agree with everything in there, but there were some things that kind of kicked my butt, and especially this why thing. It just really resonated with me, especially with like the 3 things that I just narrowed it down to. Weren't something that, like I said, some were not even ones that I even remembered, but I do remember being younger and wanting to work with that charity. And right now I'm not able to work with that charity because I'm not doing what I, need to be doing that I can offer what I need to do. So it was good for me.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anybody else have anything to add to that, or you have questions or anything? Thanks for showing up, guys. I think these are important. Like, I know that it's hard to get on team calls. I know it's hard to get on trainings, but you know, this is the kind of stuff that keeps me motivated and inspired, and hearing from other coaches. And I'm just like, I'm proud of you guys for showing up. And I'll post the recording in the team page. And if you guys have anything to add to that, or if you want to share, you know, in our team page, what is your why? What are your whys? You know, why did you decide to do this? What keeps you doing this? What motivates you on those days that, you know, are hard? Because we're all going to face them, no matter what business you're in. You know, like if you don't do this business and help other people, then somebody else is going to do it, and they're going to be successful at it. You know, that's the thing. And so, like, I choose to be the person who gets to help people and get paid for it. Honestly, you know, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's the best of both worlds, and I love it. And I love to help you guys like grow your businesses and reach those points and get over those hurdles. And, you know, it's just, I think it's a really cool thing to be a part of. And the team part is so cool too. So, I'm proud to be here with you guys. But anyways, all right, well, I'm gonna end this call. I gotta hop on another one, and I will see you guys next week. Okay. All right. Bye.